Good morning, church. It's good to be with you again. If you recall, we started this subject a couple weeks ago, God is my refuge. And we're looking at David and how he had bounced back, even though he had been struck down many times by disappointment and those around him that were coming against him. But God's faithful. Well, not only did David bounce back, but David received strength from God, just like you and I can as well. It's there for us. Life is resistant. It can be resistive. Satan can be resistive. Psalms chapter 41, verse 6. Uh, David means more than just shelter from the storm. He's talking about God giving strength to go back into the storm and face it. In 1 Samuel 30, verses 6, 7, and 8, David was bitterly disappointed, but David strengthened himself in the Lord. In other words, he encouraged himself. He fastened upon to recover and to be obstinate. He took the encouragement that God offered and he grabbed it. His faith supplied him with inward comfort and energy. This pattern is repeated throughout Scripture. You look at Jesus in the garden in Luke chapter 22, verse 42. Jesus realized what he had to do, and he realized what was going to take place. He knew he would become sin and be separated from the Father. He knew that the nails were real and the agony was real. This prompted him to say to the Father, "Can't you take it away?" Verse 43, it tells us that an angel strengthened him. And God can also strengthen us in those times of trouble as well. And so the Apostle Paul was another example of receiving strength from God. In 2 Timothy 4, 16 and 17, he was being poured out like an offering, and yet God strengthened him. God encouraged him. How do I do that, you might ask? I believe that you do it the way that David did it. You go out away from the people, you get alone with God, and you talk with him. Pour out your heart to him. Open up to him. Get away from all the distractions. Tough situations are not optional in the Christian life. They are standard at no extra cost. They will come. If you're living for God, there will no doubt be times when the situation seems so hard to handle. It's then you must go to God. No, let me say this. You must run to God and let him strengthen you, because it is he that can strengthen you. It is he that can be the ones that will encourage you and give you what you need at that moment. It is God that does that. And so God is always there to help and supply. You might ask again, how do I do that? You do it the way all the saints in the Old Testament did, even those in the New Testament. They ran to God. They received strength from him. They looked to him. They knew that they had no strength, and so they trusted him. And so, again, we must go to God, and at times we must run to God and let him strengthen us. Church, hope you have a great week. Be safe. God bless.